Paul, we've developed quite a show. You, me, Tim, and Mo here. It's just a wild ride that we talk about every single day. And we get a lot of new subscribers, almost 400 a day, Paul. I mean, could you even imagine? You could imagine, I couldn't. The Patreon is going phenomenally well because we provide for them.
It's going BANANAS.
Yes. I mean, like in comparison to other patrons, I mean, what we give you is just incredible. And so obviously our Patreon, it's almost like 10% of people who literally watch this video are
Actually,
patrons.
this month it's 12.5% of people who subscribe have joined our software.
And this is what we get from you, the viewer. I watched all of the BS YouTubers. Stock Mo, Meet Kevin, Jeremy from Financial Education, Andre Jeek. They all pumped up just these terrible, volatile stocks, and now you're in them. These are the first videos that you found. So this is the question we get. I'm in these crappy, overpriced stocks, Paul. What should I do? I found your page. Thank you. You're one of the lucky ones who have found us. What should I do, Paul? My money is in this stuff, the NEO, the Tesla. What should I do at this moment? We get this question ad nauseum, and let our viewers know.
The hardest thing in the world to do is to purposely sell something that you've lost money on, right?
Yeah.
Because your thought is, well, the markets go up, it could rebound. Of course it could rebound. What we are trying to teach here is a process. And I'm a big believer in, once you've found a process that works for you, you start the slate clean on that process. You analyze the stocks you've picked individually. If they don't fit that process, you move on. You take your loss, and sometimes the best thing you can do is take a loss, because if it doesn't fit your criteria, it could plummet even further. Or it could go up. Seth had Amazon and Bitcoin and Tesla. It skyrocketed from when he sold.
Yep.
He does feel better about it knowing that it doesn't fit the criteria he has. Is that a tough thing to do? See it go up? Absolutely. It absolutely is. You can never time the market. But I'm a big believer in, once you find a process that works for you, you stick to it, right? Just like, let me draw a relationship analogy.
Uh-oh, you're good at this.
Let's say you're out there dating, you're swiping, you're sleeping with a lot of people. You love it. Then you meet somebody, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be this person forever. Are you going to keep sleeping with a lot of people?
You or us?
Who are we talking about? Who's on first? That's the point. Once you've found the process that works for you, you have to stick with it. It is very difficult to sell stock that you're going to be down on. But at the end of the day, you can put that money towards a better stock with better future potential.
I think that's the gist, is if you just had that money back, even at a huge loss, and we've shown some huge losses this year.
It could get worse, guys. It could get better. It could get worse. You don't know.
But taking those dollar bills you've worked hard for, and then moving forward, putting them in more responsible companies with our guidance, it can at least put your, if not your bank account, put your mindset in a better place. Describe that, Paul.
Mindset is everything in investing. It's not the number. I mean, numbers do matter. But at the end of the day, if you can't take those numbers and do something good with them and be okay, like Alibaba we talk about, it is currently selling at 162. We liked it at 184. Our group is like, wait, what's going on here? I look at it saying, I did the numbers again in another video. I like the numbers. I love the numbers. I'm staying true to it. Unless some information pops up that changes my entire thesis, I'm still going to be a buyer of Alibaba. It is hard to do that when you see the stock going lower and lower and lower and you already have it, right? That's a hard emotional thing. That's why I always love it when people tell me, oh, if I've had it happen in 2007, met with friends of mine. What happens if stocks fall half? Well, we'd buy more, right? Absolutely. Stocks fell 38%. They sold everything. They got out completely. I literally asked the questions, what happens if stocks fall in half? We'd buy more, because once you're seeing the fall, it's a lot different than projecting the fall, right? Mm-hmm. Just like if you ask people, what if you lost your job? It would feel a lot worse probably as it happens than you can project. I don't know. I just look at it saying we all react differently when something is occurring than when we project it to happen, especially if we don't think it's likely to happen. Like, oh, I'll be fine. Well, then all of a sudden you see your big account, your stock account go from here to here to here to here to here. And all of a sudden you're like panicking. Is it going to? Those same friends of mine said we sold because we didn't want to go to zero. But I asked you, what if it drops 50%? We didn't want to see it go to zero. Okay, that's irrational. What ended up happening? S&P went from 666 to 4,400 now. And guess what? I guarantee they did not buy back in until a little bit of time had occurred. They see stocks going back. Oh, wait, maybe we should get back into stocks. And that's what happens with humans. We pick and choose the wrong times to buy and sell stocks. That's why you stick to a process and you do the process in and out, because the process will probably work over long periods of time. I have found that any process basically beats the market as long as you stick to it without emotion. Any value process will beat the market as long as you stick to it without emotion. The problem happens when you stick. Look at Greenblatt and Richard Wiser Happier.
Yeah, this book. Yeah.
Richard Wiser Happier, Joel Greenblatt, had set up a fund for people to invest in his stocks. He set up two different parts of the fund. The first fund is invest in it blindly. We're just going to do all the work for you. The second one is here are all the stocks that match. You pick and choose which ones you want. Which ones outperformed?
The blind ones.
The blind ones outperformed.
This happened for me too, Paul. This happened for me too last year. I was in Little Book stocks, and then I followed some. I picked some of my own, and it was a drastic difference. The ones I didn't even know I owned did way better, and the ones that I thought I had the edge on did not.
And it's only 1 year, by the way.
Sure,
it's only 1 year. I wouldn't, but I'm a big believer in a magic formula type of investing, as long as you stick to it blindly.
And speaking of process, I mean, if you look at Turtle Trader, who's the trader that did the best? The guy that did exactly what you're supposed to do, following the rules. Everybody else did worse than him.
When you brought your human emotion and guessing into it, that's when things get messed up. Yep. So when you have your own portfolio right now and you bought for the wrong reasons, just move on. If it bothers you to move on, stick with the stocks. But I'm warning you that if stocks go down, you're going to hate it even more. But you might get lucky and the stock goes back up and you recover some losses. But to me, once you find a process that works for you, move on to that process and put your money towards that process.
Paul, I do spy on some of these crazy channels to see what the world is hearing, because they're not hearing us, obviously. We have 1/10 of the subscriber count, and it's probably pretty rare you're coming across this video. We will get there one day, but I saw in a Meet Kevin did another video, where he's propping up Tesla, and one of his paid followers said, "I don't know why I'm in it, and I don't know why I would ever, how or why or when I would ever get out of it."
And what do I always say? If you don't know how you're going to make money, you have no idea how you're going to lose money. If you don't understand how you're going to make money, you're going to have no idea how you're going to lose money. And you're just going to be grasping for straws all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the investing style for most, is grasp at a company and
But they don't think it's that, because they think looking at the news is their research.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I look at it saying, if your neighbor came and owned a mechanic shop and said they wanted you to be a partner, what's the first thing you'd ask them?
What do they make?
Let me see your books.
What do you make? Let me see your books. Let me send it to my accountant. But we don't, by the way, don't send stocks to your accountant, because I've never met an accountant I thought had good investment advice. But either way, this is just, you would look at a private business a different way, and that's the problem. You need to look at stocks and a private business the exact same way. There's still businesses that generate cash flow that will come back to you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not immediately, but over time.
Yeah, you need to look at private and public companies the same way.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
And that's what I look at with Alibaba. I see the stock going down, and I'm like, but wait a second. If somebody pitched me this company and said, you can buy this company for $430 billion and it generates this, would you buy it? I'd be like, yeah, I'd buy it. Uh-huh. I absolutely would buy it. So why would I not buy it as a stock? Right. Just because every day the stock goes down? Okay.
So how does a new investor, a young investor, or plain one that's just not as smart as you, like me?
Well, it's not about smart. You don't need to be a genius to do well in stocks. What you need to do is have good emotions and emotional discipline. That's it.
How do I start developing the idea of why I would get in a stock, or why I would
learn from this channel? Like, literally watch this channel, and also watch other YouTube channels and see what the differences are. Pick the ones that speak more to you. We have a lot of people go, oh my God, this made so much sense to me the second I watched your video. Great. And other people say, you're an idiot. Great. If you think I'm an idiot, I don't speak to you, go follow the hype. And I will see you. I will probably end up donating money to your homeless shelter as you lose everything investing in hype stocks.
I'm not going to donate to your homeless shelter. Ask him.
He want to give his mom a car for free, and his mom is the reason he's around.
I gave my mom a car for free.
I just sit there and say process everything, and if my process doesn't speak to you, there's other ways, there's momentum ways, there's chart ways to make money, but still, they have a process. The ones that, I love momentum trading, but I like the Turtle Trader book spoke to me, and that's why I'm doing momentum trading the Turtle Trader way, because it spoke to me as a process of do this, don't deviate. Love it. But I'm very anal about it. I remember I realized this now years later. I go to the blackjack table and I'd have 16, the dealer's showing a 7, and I would hit. And other people would be like, well, I don't know about that one. I don't feel good about that one. I'm like, what are you doing? The book says do this. Don't ever deviate. You'll lose less money if you don't deviate. But people always think they're smarter. And the one time they're right, they're like, see, I told you. I'm like, great, but you don't know how that affects thousands of other hands down the road. You have no idea. But we're all humans, and we see recency bias. Whatever happened most recently, we think is the right one. It's not true. It doesn't work.
Yeah, if this idea speaks to you, you can follow along our videos. Over 840 videos.
Oh,
Paul.
we're at 860, I think now.
It's incredible. Mo goes live every day.
You can also follow us on Instagram.
Oh my God, did I forget the Instagram?
I got it. Don't worry. I got it.
Instagram, guys.
Not her.
Yeah, I think in the end, this is the premise of the show: is that I had been investing long before I met you, Paul.
You weren't investing. You were putting money in things you liked.
I'm sorry, you're right.
At whatever value that the market gave it.
The world was telling me I was investing. In things like Bitcoin.
You were speculating to a very high level.
Yeah, and if you're in the same boat and you're wondering, how did I get in this? Why am I in this? And what happens if the S hits the fan here? We gladly welcome you into our Patreon and into our community, and you can start learning from here. And you can start now, Paul. I mean, it's been many years for me, but the best time to start is now. And it's just been much more, how would I say this? Calming.
Yeah, it's very calming.
And relieving to know why I'm in things and why I should get out of some bad investments. So, all right, that's our take. Final thumbs up. As always, we'll be here. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you soon.